Today on Tricrow Studios, we talk about locking tuners, what they do and what they don't do, and I use a roll of toilet paper to illustrate. Okay, so I've tried actually making this video in the past, and I usually end up scrapping it just before it's released. But I kind of wanted to buckle down and actually do this and do it kind of properly. Now, what I want to do here is explain why I buy locking tuners, why maybe you should buy locking tuners, things that they actually do, and what they don't do that people think they do. And the other thing, very quickly, if you're brand new to guitar and you're looking up locking tuners because you're absolutely not sure what they do, that's not a problem. Very simply, if you see the back of a guitar and it has these little turning knobs, not these turning knobs, but these turning knobs, don't turn them. What it'll actually do is it will release the string, and you'll just hear plink, and the string will come off. So, word to the wise. All right, so roll of toilet paper time. So imagine that this is a post, like a tuning post here. What a locking tuner does is you do your wraps around and you put your string through, and then you turn until everything gets tight, right? And you do all the wraps, so just in case things get loose, that string doesn't come out. Right, exactly, right. So basically, what a locking tuner actually does is you put the string through the post, and then it either comes down through the top, and you actually use a screwdriver and screw it down, and it locks the string into place, or it's a little turny thing on the back of the headstock, and it does the same thing. It brings it up and locks the string into place. So that's what a locking tuner does. The benefit to that is the fact that when you put the string in, instead of doing all of your wraps, you pull the string tight, just like that, and lock it down or lock it up, however it works. And what that does is it eliminates the issue of the wrap coming undone or holding a little bit of tension and then releasing when you're bending, or holding a little bit of tension here and kind of getting caught in the nut. So what do locking tuners do? Number one, they make string changes extremely easy. You literally just put it through, tighten it up, and then tune away. You cut, tune away. Instead of doing all of your wraps and then kind of pulling everything, it cuts down your string change time. Very good, very great. Maybe you don't change your strings that often. I have a lot of guitars. I don't change my strings that often. That would be just detrimental to my wallet. But when I do with the locking tuners, it's super easy, and it's one less thing I have to mildly second guess about. The other thing that they do, again, when you're pulling it tight and you don't have your wraps, it's less likely that your wraps will slip when you're tuning. Now, you still, when you tune, what you want to do is make sure you're always tuning up to pitch. So turning this up instead of tuning down. So instead of, because what that'll do is that'll actually relieve some tension around the wrap and the string post, and as well it can kind of get caught in the nut. So when you're tuning up, it's actually pulling tension as opposed to releasing tension. And what you want to do also is tug on your string, give it a good tug, and tune up again if you need to, because what that'll do when you're doing the tug, it kind of pulls tension here and kind of releases a little bit of whatever's trapped in the nut, or possibly trapped in the nut. So the other thing that it does, it eliminates the wraps on the posts, thus giving you more tuning stability. So the less likely of a factor of the tuning post slipping with the wraps that you have. Another thing that locking tuners do not do is they do not lock your guitar into tune. So your tuning pegs here do not get locked. They are still fully functional. So when you lock things down here on the back of the headstock or on the top of the headstock, wherever your locking mechanism is, these still function. It would suck if they didn't. Like if you would have to unlock everything, it would not be fun. So there you go. Next thing that it does not do, does not fix bridge issues. So if you have a bridge like this and you are able to, and this one doesn't, but if you are able to wiggle it back and forth, you're going to have some tuning issues. So addressing the locking tuners and not addressing the bridge, you're going to have tuning problems. And the last thing I want to go over here for the locking tuners and what they don't do is they don't lock your guitar in tune. So if you have your locking tuners set up and you have your guitar fully in tune, you can go to town on it and one of your strings will come out of tune. You'll hear tons of people say, oh, this guitar, it never goes out of tune, it's excellent, blah, 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 because they have locking tuners. That still is not the case, especially if you have bridge or nut issues. Again, the biggest benefit to locking tuners is the lack of wraps that actually go around the tuning post. So you can still have issues where it gets stuck in the nut, or it's just overall tension from bending or what have you. The string itself can actually pull a little and go out of tune over time. You always hear tons of people say that, oh, I got locking tuners, so it never goes out of tune, or I've said this before, I have a Paul Reed Smith, that never goes out of tune, it's impossible to go out of tune. It can go out of tune. Also, bonus, I got locking tuners on a Gibson Les Paul. It still does not fix the G-string issue. The G-string issue is solved by tuning properly, so again, tuning up to pitch, never down to pitch, and tugging on your strings, retuning, tugging on your strings until when you tug on your strings, they don't go out of tune. Food for thought. Anyway, thanks very much. If you have any other questions about locking tuners, anything you want to add, go ahead and pop it down in the comments. Really hope this video wasn't too long, because I really like my toilet paper idea. And thanks for watching.